The infamous black and grey one.
The controversy.
The controversy.
It's definitely going to be the most controversial tattoo this season for sure. Hey everybody, and welcome back to No More Ink. I'm Ryan Ashley, and you just watched the incredible season 15 finale. Sitting next to me is one of the incredibly talented final three, Freddie Albrighton. Hey Freddie.
What's up?
It's been a trip for you. You came all the way from where?
Spain, then the UK, then here. Yeah. I'm tired.
You're tired? More tired now or after completing the finale?
Oh man, that was exhausting.
So I want to know a little bit more about you, and I think the world is going to want to know more about you as well.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
Where do I begin?
What's your sign? What's your most traumatic memory?
Okay, none. I was like, do I have to pretend I believe that?
How old are you and where are you from?
I am 32 and I'm from I just say the Midlands in the UK. I live kind of near Birmingham, which is like a big city there, but I've lived just mainly in countryside towns.
You like living in nature?
I do now. I do now. I've lived in the city before, but now, yeah, my life's just quiet and chill.
Yeah.
I like it.
Getting into some silly stuff, I heard a rumor that you were involved or are involved in the perfume industry.
I am.
What does that even mean?
I'll try and explain it without being really nerdy.
I just imagine you in a field of flowers, picking certain ones and bringing them home and putting them in the grinder.
Yeah, no,
and
it's nothing like that.
The oil out of it.
Nothing like that.
Okay.
I originally got interested in the perfume world through an art setting. So I was writing about non-tangible art, so art that's a light or a sound, and then I got into people who use just a smell and that was their artwork. So you can go to some galleries and their installation will just be a scented room.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's super cool. So then I was like, how can that make you feel some way? And then I got really interested in the chemistry of it and this and that. So I collaborated with some perfume brands doing a creative direction kind of way. And then when lockdown hit, I couldn't tattoo anyone. So I'd been interested in it for 15 years. So I was like, I'm gonna buy a lab and just invested all my money and set up my little perfume brand.
Wow, my mind has just been blown. You have visual art, you have music. It makes so much sense that scent would be an art form as well.
Yeah, it's super creative and I just love it. Wow. I love it. I brought you one.
I
brought you a gift because we haven't got a stockist in America, but we've got them all over Europe. So I smuggled you one here.
This is my first gift of all of the interviews. You win. You win.
That was
brought me one?
When I first launched my brand, I launched 3, and that one was one of my favorites, Boys.
Wow.
And it is Parma Violet candy with latex. So it's rubbery, dusty, plasticky. It's cool. It's just cool.
That's so cool. Do you design the artwork for the packaging?
Honestly, I am a complete one-man brand. So I make it, manufacture it, filter, distribute, everything. So I just do what I can afford. So my packaging is really minimal and industrial.
You moonlight as a perfume maker? That's
yeah, it's hard work.
Who are you? You're coming out of nowhere with high world-class tattoos and you make your own perfume.
And it's good.
You're the whole package.
Thanks, babe.
So your tattoo style, can it even be classified or categorized? How do you describe it?
I just describe it as I do cool color stuff. Some of the things that I did on the competition that didn't get me the best marks were the stuff that I just do at home. Mm-hmm. And I probably slipped into it thinking it was just my comfort zone and I'd be fine. That almost made me realize that what I do currently isn't enough. And that's when I got to really showcase the love doing and want to do all the time. And to see that that's what got me further was super exciting. But how do I categorize it? I don't know, I just pick stuff from different styles that I like doing and kind of mush it together.
How did you get into tattooing?
Very unprofessionally. I didn't have a proper apprenticeship. I worked in a really dingy tattoo piercing studio and they literally just let me buy a machine and charge $10 an hour until I got good.
$10 an hour?
Maybe $20, I don't know. But it was bad. And I was tattooing people from day one. So I practiced on my legs a bit and then I'd tattoo anything that came in. I was outlining chest pieces from 1 month in tattooing. I dread to what they look like now, but that is what it is. It's the reality of learning to tattoo.
What things have you encountered since you've become a tattooer have shaped you into the artist that you are today?
I think like without going on about it too much, because it was never like a huge thing, but like I've had weird things happen. Like I think I mentioned it to you before. Like I think being like such an openly like out gay, the buzzword, tattooist. Like I've had like people sponsor me and then they find out who I am on like my private stories and then have all unfollowed me and cancelled all the sponsorships. And I've had so many tattooists in the UK that know who I am but would never follow me because of how that is. But that was probably a couple of years ago. So I've just isolated myself from it all now because I think that really made me be like, I don't want to be around these people. I feel like it's very cliquey and it was very like bro-y and I just couldn't wedge my way in there. So I think that's a big part of why I just kind of like isolated myself in the tattoo world.
I want to know who these sponsors are that dropped you because I'm about to call them up. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's a beautiful thing in the same sense because having all of those people unfollow you, take you for granted, it's their loss, Freddie.
I know.
It's their loss, and you're better off without people who have that mindset, you know? And the best thing that you can do in this lifetime for people like that is prove them wrong. That's it.
Exactly.
I think the entire panel was legitimately excited to see you tattoo week after week after week. So I think we should go back and take a look through your portfolio and look at some of your favorite tattoos you've done prior to the competition.
Okay.
Freddie, this is such a you tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah? You stoked on this one?
I am. I mean, it needs one more session to finish it, I think. Well, and it needs a big old touch-up. But I love it. It's just like chaos. It's just like pure chaos. So this girl, like, I've done her whole chest, I've done her sleeve, and then her back. She saw that I did like statues, and she was like, I want something like that, themed loosely around Aquarius. So it's like the water carrier. I mean, I can see what I would get red for if it was on the show. But overall, it's really fun. I like the shape of it. There's like cool little things like where the elbow just kind of makes a little V shape.
It looks like it's like a portal into like a cool, like a graffiti style almost right here, like on the arm with all the organic and the neon. It's very cool.
It's like it almost doesn't even matter what it is. It just looks cool.
Yeah,
and it's one of the first
beautiful.
times I've used like a really simple palette. It was just like turquoise and pink.
You think this is a simple palette?
Yeah, like, well, it's mainly just turquoise and pink and grey and a bit of blue and some yellow.
All right. And there's seafoam, and there's Kelly, and there's lavender, and ivory. Yeah, just a few.
I like it.
It's the
cool.
like 96 crayon box, not the 144 crayon box. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the bonus pack. But
just pick the best ones.
I still feel like, I know you're against it, maybe we'll discuss it in the future. I still think we need some sort of stupid name for the style of tattoos you do. Because if you don't coin it for yourself, someone else is gonna do some nickname that you hate and it's gonna stick. It's like choosing your own internet name. If you don't pick it,
Picks it for you.
Okay, let's see the next one.
This is pretty
Cool.
This wasn't planned out from the beginning, as you can tell. Like, I love every piece of it. It's super fun. But it was like, I want my lower arm done, so we do that. And then he's like, oh, I might bring it up my arm. And then he's like this. And then it's like, oh, now I want
more.
Yeah. But we tied it all together. So he was just super open, just wanted anything like crazy pop party. He's one of the few people I've got who just let me do whatever. Not whatever, he gives me a loose idea, but he doesn't care how weird and crazy it gets.
I do think it all goes together though.
Just about.
I totally understand those clients though. That's why I ask my clients now, like, are you 100% sure this is gonna be a standalone piece? Because I'm gonna plan differently if you're eventually gonna want your arm, right? It usually takes about 6 months for them to be like, actually, yeah, I do want a full sleeve.
I mean, apart from this like little black and grey tattoo he had on the other side, that's the only tattoo he had. So I think he didn't know if he wanted to be that tattooed when we started. So I like it. It's cool.
I love it.
It's just fun.
How much of it is healed?
In that picture, all of it apart from the heart in the middle. But the heart looks the same now.
So the entire arm and the side of the chest there, that's all healed?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh, Freddie, that's crazy.
I have seen him since and I've done a touch-up on everything, but that's healed there.
That still counts.
Yeah, it still counts.
Second coat.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Freddie.
Thanks.
I love the jewel, obviously.
Oh, I've gone over that and added a drop shadow since I've been back.
Little drop shadow?
Yeah, of course.
Every jewel needs a drop shadow.
Yeah, oh, it looks much better now.
It's just such an illusion. It's, yeah, perfect. All right, let's see the third one.
This one's just cool. So this is well, she's not my sister-in-law because I'm not married, but she would be if I was married. And she basically said to me she wants like a sacrificed goat head on her chest. But she was like, I only want half my chest. And I was like, that's just not gonna work.
She sounds lovely.
Yeah, She is, but it's like, if you met her, you would not imagine she has this tattoo.
Yeah.
But it's cool, because when she's like wearing a top, you just see the little crystal and like the crown of thorns and the flower. Like, you only see the bloody when she's like that low down. So that's why I wanted to do it like that. But yeah, I don't know, it's just cool. It's like isometric-y, it doesn't look too full. I just like it.
The flower on the left-hand side, looking at it, it almost looks like it's AI. Like, it doesn't even look real,
Yeah,
right?
it's a weird color palette.
The trick that you did with almost like the...
I would redo those leaves. Carry on, sorry.
Have you always been like this, or is it after the season you now look at everything with a microscope?
I have always been like that, but especially after being on the season, I'm like, I look at everything, I'm like, oh my God, like, how could I put that bottom leaf on there and just be like, that's nice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't go back. You can't unsee anymore. It's wild. No, it does. And the effect that you did around that flower, where it's almost like in motion or something. It's like a weird,
I feel
it's
like
so cool.
that was like the early version of what I did with like the orchid in my final one. I wanted to start like duplicating stuff just to fill space and give it like a lightness to it, so it looked less like a sticker and it looked more like it would, because I'd always see the background one slightly like watered down or something. So that was kind of what I started doing. I'd just like kind of repeat it with a bit of grey wash and it would heal really kind of wishy-washy. But then I've kind of advanced that now a little bit to like the flower I did the other day, where I kind of replicate all the colour and everything, but in a different tone and muted down and stuff.
Do you ever go back through your old pieces? And like, as you're tattooing and the years go on, you develop techniques and tricks, and then they evolve and develop and evolve and develop. And then you look at like 5 years backwards and you look at some of the tattoos you were doing and the techniques, and you're like, whoa, wait, that was actually really cool. How did I even...
that was my favorite tattoo at one point. yeah, exactly.
No, so cool, Freddie.
You must each tattoo, not 1, not 2, but 3 single session 12-hour leg tattoos.
So, do you ever tattoo in normal life that many hours, that many consecutive days?
Oh my God, I don't even do like a 6-hour tattoo, rarely. Honestly, I do. Normally, that's gonna change from now on, because I know I can do it. Back home, I don't have a lot of patience, and I often get fed up tattooing after about 4.5, 5 hours. I'm like, I'm done. Let's finish this another day. But no, I have more patience now. I've never tattooed for 12 hours. The longest I've done is probably about 7, and that was probably split with a hell of a lot of breaks in it.
Wow. Yeah. And then it was 12 hours, 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
It's grueling.
It was, but there was a lot on the line, so I didn't mind it.
I'm gonna tell you though, after this entire competition and after the world sees who you are and what you're capable of, you're gonna have a lot of clients that are gonna fly in.
I hope so, I need it.
And you better do longer than a 4-hour session, Freddie.
Exactly, I will, I will.
Yeah. In regards to the finale, what do you think went right? What do you think went wrong? What changes could you make if you could go back in time? How are you feeling about all that?
I feel like if we're pulling them apart like one by one, very briefly, I think like my Japanese one, I just overlooked things that I didn't think were important. They turned out to be. Like, I just made that mistake on the scales in the dragon and I just completely repeated it. And I was like, that'll be fine.
We ripped you for the dragon scales, didn't we?
Yeah, but I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, it just.
It's like, here's all the things that you should fix for next time, and you were like, this one, this one.
But I took a lot else on board that I got critiqued for on it.
Yeah.
So it was just that one. But anyway, I thought it still looked really cool.
I thought it was fantastic.
It was so cool. It looked much cooler in person. I'm sure they all say that, but I thought it looked much better. Like when you could see the scale of it and stuff, I was like, it's so cool.
The imagery choice to me it makes me want to throw up, dude.
This is a tough tattoo to look at, but once I've heard his explanation, I instantly looked at this for the tattooing. I was swayed.
The infamous black and grey one.
The controversy.
The controversy.
It's definitely going to be the most controversial tattoo this season for sure.
I know, that's scary. Honestly, when I was getting critiqued, I was just like, I didn't feel like I'd made bad decisions at all. Like, I was really proud of myself for actually doing a black and grey tattoo, even though it was a bit red and angry. I was like, I think it will heal nice. I was like, I'm happy with it. It was so not what I was expecting. I thought the worst I would get is, I don't like it, but well done for doing a black and grey tattoo for 12 hours. I thought that would be like the worst thing I could get. It was way, way worse than that. I was just like, holy shit. And I wasn't upset because I felt like I'd made a bad decision or I'd done a bad tattoo. It felt like the obvious thing to do for me. It just came super quickly and naturally, and I was just like, I like it. I was like, it's cool. I was like, it's pretty in a weird way. I knew that the other two would do like a really romantic, like nude lady, and I was like, I want to do one where it's angry. It's just like pissed off. I don't know, it's not trying to be like a sexy tattoo, basically.
Yeah.
I don't feel bitter about the critiques I got at all. In a way, obviously you're always trying to provoke a reaction. It was just more intense in a way I didn't expect. I thought I was gonna get like, whoa, that's like, I don't know if I like it, it's bold, you made some crazy choices,
Yeah.
but it was more than that, and that's when I was like, oh my God, like this is freaky.
But Freddie, you have to remember too that like some of the most influential, celebrated artists of all time throughout history have created controversy during their time. And it was because society or the art world wasn't ready for what they were presenting. And then eventually people realize the genius in it and come around. But usually for the artist, they're dead and it's too late. Art's always more valuable when the person's no longer here, you know?
Yeah.
But in terms of that tattoo, what I have to say about it is like, doesn't matter how people felt about it. What matters is that they felt. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, it exuded so much out of every single person in that room, and that speaks volumes. It's power. It's powerful. That's what art is supposed to do. I would much rather a tattoo that makes me feel something or question something or start a conversation than something that I'm bored looking at. I'm over it.
Exactly.
I'm over boring.
Yeah.
Not saying I don't love simplicity,
Yeah, me
but
too.
at this point in the evolution of art and in tattooing, I think it's important that we express ourselves.
I haven't regretted doing it at all. I've just more been surprised and a bit scared from the outcome. That was all.
You have to remember too, though, what's more important to you? Like fitting into the box people expect you to be in or feeling good about actually being yourself?
Yep.
It's gonna be a harder road, but it's gonna be more rewarding and more fulfilling in the end to know that you had a voice no one else had.
I appreciate that.
Your third tattoo wasn't controversial at all. It was like unanimously everyone's favorite tattoo of the entire finale. It was crazy. I don't think pictures or video will do that tattoo justice. You need to be an inch away saying to yourself, how is this real? It's that good.
Thank you. I overshot a little bit. Like, I needed a couple more hours,
Yeah.
but I think just like taking a few steps back and looking at it, I was just like, it's really nice. I was like, it's really, really nice tattoo. So then I was just like, I can't touch it anymore. I'd been over certain areas and I was like, I've just got to leave it alone. And I was like, overall, I love it. I don't know who else could have done it here. So I was like, I'm confident. I was like, I'm good.
Not only here, like how many tattooers in the world could get that done in 12 hours?
I barely did. Barely.
But the way that you did it though is you prioritized correctly, right? Everything that was supposed to be like foreground,
Yeah.
in focus realism, you got it in there. And you had some obviously little saturation issues and all that, but it was in the defocused background stuff. So if it were gonna
Yeah.
be anywhere, it should have been there. And to tell the truth, the way that you prioritized it almost gave it a style.
Finishing the finale, the final 3 tattoos, I was so proud of them. I honestly was.
You know, I've gone through your like portfolio and your social media and everything, and I love a lot of your tattoos. But your finale tattoos, I really think in those moments, just from literally looking at your under a microscope for so many weeks in a row and following your process, I really do think they're some of the best tattoos that you've done. So this is the little game we're playing. We are going to bring up a couple of different tattoos from an unknown portfolio. It's one of your competitors this season.
Okay.
And we're gonna try to see if you can guess with just those few tattoos whose portfolio it is.
I don't know if I remember everyone, so we'll see.
You'd be surprised, you'd be surprised. It's these flashbacks. All right, let's see the first one.
Do you want me to guess now?
You
No.
know, you think you know already?
I think I know.
Are you serious? How could you know from just that? It's really pretty. Let's look at the second one and see if your inclination is correct. Can we see the third one?
I think I know from that one.
You know?
I think so.
I don't even know. What's giving it away? Give me a hint.
I'm thinking of everyone that does black and grey. So there's Jazzy, but her stuff is more textured than this.
Textured? Yeah. And a little darker too.
And a little
she sticks to
darker.
the darker side.
Yeah, I'm more on the realistic side, I guess. Who else was that? It's definitely not David because it's too illustrative. Dave, I only saw one black and grey tattoo from him, but it didn't look like this.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking Joel because this reminds me of the tattoo he did on first episode.
Yeah. Are we sure it's Joel?
I think so. Oh, there we go.
You were
Yeah.
right. You just kicked my ass.
He has that, what do you even call it, like Chicano artwork kind of vibe.
Yeah. He has a whole background.
You can
in
see that little
style.
influence in
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that. Well, that's cool. All right, well, you win. I obviously need to go back through and reevaluate who even competed this season because
He only did one tattoo, so.
it is true. It is true.
I want to see tattooing go to a place that it's never been, you know? And I feel like that's what you guys have done every competition, is you guys push it and continue to push it to a new place. So my vote is for Freddie.
2 votes for Bobby, 2 votes for Freddie. I've been riding with Freddie this entire competition. I love art. I also don't think art can be an excuse for a mistake. Where I keep getting stuck is on the black and gray tattoo. Freddie's feels like there's a total mistake in the composition of the body and the head. That's why I'm voting for Bobby.
Holy congratulations, sir.
So after that whirlwind of a life experience, what is on the horizon? What is in the future for Freddie?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just gonna see what happens,
Yeah.
I guess. I've never met anyone that's been on Ink Master.
You've never met a single
Nope.
person that's ever been on Ink
I
Master?
really haven't. So I really don't know. I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I know I need to make some changes in my tattoo lifestyle. I do need to be around people. I wanna work with people. I'm so newly inspired by the whole thing, but I'm renting my private studio. I'm tied to things right now. So honestly don't know yet. I want to see what more I can do with my tattooing, because literally up until a few months ago, I almost felt like this is the end of it. Like I just carry on doing this and this is what tattooing is. And that's the most it's ever going to be for me. I'm excited, but I'm also trying not to predict anything that doesn't happen, or
Yeah.
I keep myself very cool and I deal with things and look forward to things as they're happening, and then I
Yeah.
can make more of that. So I do want to do more, I just don't want to like
Yeah.
shoot for here and end up here. Not that that will happen,
no,
but you know,
that's your
what I
trauma
mean.
talking. I hate to tell you. That's your trauma talking, saying that.
I'm trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
Just trying to be cool.
Yeah.
I don't care, whatever.
You're like, I'm cool. That's good. That's good. I'm fine. It's
I'm like, I'm
okay.
so excited.
I can't wait to.
Yeah.
You just have to remember, to be able to enjoy the ride, you have to be open to the ride.
For sure, I feel more open than I ever have been, especially after competing. I've learned so much. I'm such a better tattoo artist now,
Yeah.
and I haven't even got to go and tattoo from what I've learned yet. I'm just excited to put that into practice and see what like more my work can be, and
Yeah.
hopefully get some new clients who really like what I do. That would be
Hopefully,
exciting.
Freddie, you're about to be bombarded. I promise you. You're going to be the busiest you've ever been. It's going to be a crazy year or two for you. It's going to be wild.
I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Remember that not all tattooers are assholes, right? Not everyone is going to treat you with unkind intentions.
I didn't feel
you
that way
know?
for 1 second on the show,
Yeah.
so no, it was amazing. It was such a diverse group of artists, and it was just such a cool season to like be a part of.
Ink Master allows the entire world to get to know all kinds of different people who love their craft and their art very much. And it allows the world to realize that there's amazing people and there's people. You know, there's nice people and there's like every type of person tattoos.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not just one type of person. Like tattooers are kind and loving, and they help each other and support each other. This competition opens that up to, you know, canvases and clients in the world, but it also allows tattooers to have a life-changing experience where your thought process really is changed forever. Well, Freddie, thank you so much. Not just being such a strong competitor, but what you've contributed to Ink Master and what you're contributing every day to the industry. It's really important. So, thank you. And thank all of you guys for tuning in to No More Ink. And don't forget to subscribe to the Ink Master YouTube channel for everything Ink Master.